what's up, Scorpio? Welcome to your weekly reading for February 14th through the 20th. Almost forgot there. Hopefully you guys have had a good week. I've already shuffled the decks as always. It just helps me with timing. I like to just move through things fast. People get annoyed how I shuffle, so I'm not trying to be about that life, I guess. I got a few extra decks here that I'm going to be using for relationships / heart matters, abundance in all aspects, not just finances, and also a spirit message card too. I'm very much about the spirit side of life. In some ways, I'd like to say that I'm a budding medium as much as I am a budding intuitive. So, it's a pretty cool card to have so far. Oof. Oh man. No, I'm just kidding. These are pretty decent. Okay, that's good. See. All right, so right off the bat, we have the Ace of Swords. So this is the overall essence of the week going into this following week for the 14th to the 20th. It looks like there's going to be some sort of clarity coming in. So it's about coming into more of a mental clarity with a new idea or decision that you're going to wind up wanting to move forward on. But ultimately, it's the initial stage. So you see how this spiral, it's a staircase spiral going into the mind and then creating light. That light, it's like you're going deeper into the mind and bringing out a new idea that's going to give you clarity on the next steps. So it seems like for the Scorpios this week, you're going to be winding up having some sort of mental clarity on some sort of decision or idea that you need to move forward on. So that's the overall essence for this week. All right, so in the recent past, we had the Knight of Cups and the Strength card. So I'm definitely getting relationship vibes with this one, and it looks like you may have had some sort of, I want to say possible trouble, either with a relationship that you already have or possibly even finding a relationship. Because what it seems like to me is like the Strength card represents our inner willpower, our inner strength in order to get the job done, or just helps you move through a current situation that may be a little bit tough. And so the Knight of Cups in this scenario to me is representing a person or a connection that you have that may have been a little bit unstable or just emotionally, like a lot of high emotions that you've had to kind of cultivate a stronger willpower for. But it's honestly, that's what it's happening is like you're creating more strength. You're spiritually growing in the sense that you're coming more into your own power. And that's kind of like what I'm getting from this. It has to do with some kind of relationship. Current energy, we have the Two of Swords and the Hermit. Okay, so this one's pretty easy to me. There's a decision that you're going to wind up having to make, and it's going to become more clear as the week goes on. But the Two of Swords to me represents someone who is at a crossroads to make a decision that you could wind up becoming more stuck in. Because you don't fully know the outcome of where it's going to lead. And essentially, like, what the Hermit's saying is, like, you're going to wind up having to go inside yourself to find that inner light. And going inside yourself is what's actually going to create that clarity. So it could talk about meditation, a little bit of soul searching, or just whatever, like if you like getting out in nature, whether it's with the water or in the mountains or woods or whatever, wherever helps you go inside yourself and gain more clarity, that's what you're going to want to do. As a Scorpio, I already know you're more deep anyway because you're a water sign, and I think Scorpio is actually the deepest water sign out there as far as emotions go. Maybe not the most imaginative, but definitely the most emotional. So if you come to a crossroads with a decision to make, it's just calling yourself to go inwards, have a little bit of introspection to gain that clarity that you need. And I got clarification cards coming out to help out with more information. Five of Swords and the Six of Swords. Yeah, so what I'm getting from this is like the Five of Swords represents some sort of internal mental conflict, or at least it can. In a lot of scenarios for when I draw the cards, it does represent an internal mental conflict because of something that you're going through. Okay. For some reason, I'm focused on the blood down here. So that's kind of to me representing of like either being wounded or going through some sort of battle. And that's figuratively, by the way. You could have literally went through a battle, or it's saying that you went through an internal battle with yourself with some sort of mental process. Like maybe it's talking about the decision that you were trying to make. It was causing a lot of stress and anxiety on you, or just mental anguish. But ultimately, it's like you're moving out of this. It's funny I drew the Six of Swords after the Five of Swords, because the Six of Swords literally says you're making that transition. You're going to be moving on to calmer waters after a time of having some sort of mental conflict. And that mental conflict can be outside of yourself, whether it's with another person or just an internal challenge that you've been going through that may have been causing you a headache, just mental anguish, whatever you want to call it, just mental distress. But this is saying that you're moving out of that. You're going to be transitioning out of that mental state and into much more calmer waters. And you're going to be pushed towards that. So that's one message that I'm getting. Another one is, if you've been looking into moving, because the Six of Swords can represent moving, the moving process may be causing you a lot of headache. That's basically all I'm getting. All right, future coming cards. We have the Three of Cups and the Queen of Swords. So you might be having some thoughts in the near future surrounding your relationship, surrounding your current connections. Because the Three of Cups can represent a joyous time. But it also represents our connections in our life, expanding on those. And the Queen of Swords, to me, you might actually be thinking about your relationships and like where you need to possibly cut people out, where you could possibly look for other relationships that are more in alignment with who you are. Because the Queen of Swords, to me, represents someone who is like stepping back in their perspective and looking at it from a much higher perspective and being able to cut out things that no longer serve her. That's what the Queen of Swords to me represents. So it could be, you could be communicating with certain people, because the sword suit does represent communication as well, especially the Queen of Swords. So just keep that in mind. It's something to do with communication on either cutting people out in your circle of friends, or thinking about, you know what, I'm gonna keep with that. I think that's really the only message I'm getting from that. So it's communication with your relationships, where you need to make cuts, where you can make things better in your relationships, and just kind of trying to think about things from a different perspective. Got the King of Wands, Knight of Cups, Page of Wands, and the Magician. All right, so in your recent past, we have over the Knight of Cups and the Strength card, we had the King of Wands. So ultimately, this person is a leader. He's got a vision for himself or herself. Doesn't have to be a man. But this could be talking about a fire sign that is having this connection with you with the Knight of Cups. There was definitely a lot of passion with this, a lot of internal drive in order to pursue this type of relationship. But this could also be talking about someone who may have been it's kind of weird, because what I'm getting with this is like the King of Wands to me is a very fiery, impulsive person in a lot of ways. I definitely get like an Aries feeling, or even a Leo, I should say, a Leo of some sort, but some sort of fire sign. And it's like there's a lot of passion there, but there could be a lot of impulsivity and maybe the fire kind of spreading a little too far, if that makes sense. Like saying things that maybe didn't need to be said, or whatever. Or on the other end, if it's not talking about a relationship, it's talking about some sort of emotional offer that you had to have strength for, and it has to do with some sort of business or career. Generally, sometimes even entrepreneurship. But I'm getting more of the prior feeling for the meaning that I was talking about. Yet, Knight of Cups again. So definitely more of a relationship reading for this time around. Yeah, I'm wondering if, because you have the Page of Wands here, and the Page of Wands can represent potentially travel as well. because it's about a new idea that like kind of sparks that inspiration inside of you. It has a lot. To me, the Page of Wands is like very similar to the King of Wands, because like this dude goes for it, but because it's the page, it's like it's the start of something, and it could be the start of a new chapter for you that you know is passionately driven, and it could be either talking about travel, or with the Knight of Cups coming in here, with the Two of Swords and the Hermit. Maybe you are looking to move on. Maybe you're looking to move to over the waters here. It's like, because this Knight of Cups is also walking past this stream, going to the next part of the land. He has to cross that water though, and it's like you are being represented as this Knight of Cups here, and you're trying to make that decision in order to want to move forward on something. And the Page of Wands is like, to me, that also represents you too. It's like you're having this fresh idea. You're looking at it from a different, or from a more, I want to say childlike perspective, because it is new. It's like and it might be causing a little bit of mental stress, but ultimately it is going to wind up moving forward because the Six of Swords is here. So then the Magician card came in here over the Queen of Swords and the Three of Cups. You're definitely going to be taking action on something, because the Magician represents manifestation. It represents you having the resources and the skills in order to move forward on an actionable idea or step. So whatever it is you choose to decide to do, you're going to wind up moving forward on it. And that's kind of like a given, obviously, but there's a lot of power behind this. And it's like it's allowing you to start new and fresh. So let me pull some relationship cards here, or heart cards, I should say. Clarity of belief, that one again, huh? Successful funding, savings, and a spirit card. Seek the knowledge, seek the new life. All right, so choose your beliefs, or I'm sorry, choose your battles, and clarity of belief. If you see me looking this way, I'm actually looking at the computer, because that's where I can see the feedback of the video. But basically what this is saying is like, within your circle or within your relationships or the connections in your life, you may be faced with certain scenarios that are going to play out that may wind up causing you to be a little more combative, or wanting to speak or behave in a certain way that may not be favorable. Because it says choose your battles, and you're looking at these different faces, and it's like you have these people in your life that are trying to potentially oppose you, or that you're putting too much time and energy into creating these like battles. Basically, that's a great way to put it, because it's like arguing with people or fighting with your significant other or your family members or whatever. So basically, it's just saying like, step back a minute and allow the relationship in your life to kind of just play out or sizzle out if they need to, because if things are becoming too combative and toxic, it's like learn to trust yourself and understand that it's not worth it to just sit there and fight all the time. Clarity of belief, that definitely goes hand in hand with the Ace of Swords. So if you're trying to move forward on some sort of either personal relationship, gaining more clarity around that, or just moving forward in general to help you with healing your heart, that's what this is saying, is like you're going to have that clarity come in for you. Because he's holding his hand on his heart and releasing the butterfly. So it's like he's understanding what he truly wants, and he's allowing it to just blossom. To me, the butterfly represents transformation, and because it's green, it's like transformation of the heart. You're becoming more aware of what it is you truly want within your own emotions. All right, successful funding. Your idea is divinely guided and supported by the same infinite wisdom of God that gave you the idea. Do not allow money concerns to prevent you from turning it into reality. Crowdfunding, partnerships, and other investments are available to help you. So that's basically like, it is what it is. It's saying that if you're looking for something to help with funding, whether it's partnerships, crowdfunding like GoFundMe or investments of some sort, whether it's Bitcoin, stocks, or whatever, it's saying that you're going to get what you were looking for, basically. Successful funding, it's saying you're going to have success in the funding that you're seeking. And I believe that goes into the seek card as well, but we'll get to that. Next abundance card here is savings. As you consistently save for your future is saved. You do your future self a big favor as you consistently set aside present funds. This is a part of your self-care and path to feeling secure as you focus upon your life purpose. I don't always save, but it looks like if you are investing in savings of some sort, that's going to wind up paying off for you. Not everyone likes to do that, but if that's something that you're called to do and you feel passionate about it, like, keep doing it, because it's going to wind up helping you in the long run. It's just really confirming what you're doing for yourself already. And if you don't do this, maybe like if you have been thinking about saving, whether it's investing in stocks, cryptocurrencies, or just saving for within your bank, it's saying do it. If that doesn't appeal to you, then obviously don't do it. Seek. The power of spirit exists in all things. Everything is made of energy, and every single thing in your physical world contains a fragment of spirit, including you. We are all one with spirit and always will be connected to one another. What this is saying is, on one hand, it's saying seek within yourself higher knowledge and higher wisdom to bring out the spiritual energy, or to manifest that which you are trying to seek, whether it's money, abundance, love. It's also talking about seeking help or seeking some kind of funding as well. It could be a little more literal in that sense too. But it's just saying seek higher understanding, or deeper understanding, if you want to go down that route. All right, Scorpio, this concludes this reading. If you enjoyed it, please like, share, and or subscribe. I know I have that ending credit that says that anyway, but I like to reiterate during the video too. But yeah, so again, like, share, and subscribe if you want to. If not, that's fine. I'm going to keep posting these videos anyway. But anyway, I will see you in the next video. Have a good one.